Nice wonder. How long is this going to go on? This has been going back and forth. Actually, you know what? Hasn't been going back and forth. It's been all me for 2 months. When are you going to defend your honor? When are you going to do something about it, huh? Huh, kid? You Star Wars wearing, Nintendo playing, vegan eating son of a gun. When are you going to stand up for yourself? Are you too busy eating the grass clippings out in the back? What are you going to do about this? We've been going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth all...
One, two, three, and the winner of this match is Nice Wonder!
Stangy, what'd I tell you, bro? When you hear those horns, you're finished.
Woo! What's up, Harlem? Noonan here, back at HNN with you. Giving Stangy a quick minute to regroup and get himself together after that incident with Nice Wonder. I'm really glad to be back with you. Mrs. Stark did a wonderful job last week, but we're glad to be back. So, first up, with the new order kind of having us wearing masks out in public, we at HNN wanted to give you guys a tutorial on how to make your own masks. So, Penelope kind of put some together. I got my mask, so I'm ready to go.
Hi Harlem, my name is Penelope and I'm here to show you a little bit about how you can make a face mask just like this one with materials that you probably already have lying around in your home. This face mask does include a nose wire and pleats on the side so that it can fit snugly around your face, and it does require a sewing machine, but if you don't have one of those, there's already plenty of tutorials available on the internet for those of you without a sewing machine. With the new shelter-in-place order that begins today, there's an added requirement that mandates that face masks be worn in all public places, such as grocery stores where you may be in closer contact with others. I think this is a great opportunity with everyone being at home to use the materials that you probably already have lying around your home or have discovered from all the spring cleaning that's being done. It's just a way to make a face mask without having any added costs or having to make a trip to the craft store. To start off, you're going to need 2 pieces of fabric, both of them 6 inches by 9 inches for adults. Preferably, you're going to want one of the fabrics to have a pattern and one of them plain, just so that you can distinguish which side of the face mask will be facing outwards. You're also going to want 2 4.5-inch pieces of elastic that will serve as the loops that will go around your ears when you put the face mask on. I didn't have any elastic lying around at home, so I just cut the straps off of an old tank top that I had already planned on donating. You're also going to need about 6 inches of some sort of wire that will serve as the nose wire of the mask. So to start off, you're going to want to line the 2 fabrics with the right sides facing inward and the wrong sides facing out. This is because we're going to sew along the edge of the fabric and insert the elastic as we hit each corner. Because you're sewing it with the insides out, you're going to want to leave a 2-inch gap at the bottom of the face mask so that you can flip it when we're done sewing it together. You're going to want to make sure that if your fabric has a certain orientation and you don't want it to be upside down, that you put the gap at the bottom of the pattern. So I set my sewing machine on a straight stitch and sewed around the entirety of the mask until I hit the other end of the 2-inch gap. To insert the elastic loop, I held the elastic in place at the corner that I wanted it at. I sewed until my needle was over the elastic, and then I turn the corner. To turn the corner, you're going to want to make sure the needle is in the fabric so that you can lift the presser foot, turn the fabric, and then lower the presser foot without losing your place in the stitching. Then I just continued stitching until the other end of the fabric, and I did the exact same thing, turning the corner again. And you do this for the other side as well until you hit the other end of the 2-inch gap. We're gonna add the nose wire on the opposite side of where the 2-inch gap is. And to do this, I marked the center of the face mask and I set my sewing machine on a zigzag stitch on the widest setting. Then I just sewed along the entirety of the wire to lock it in place. I went really slow on this part because I wanted to make sure that my needle wouldn't hit the wire to prevent my needle from bending or even breaking. Once you're done adding the nose wire, you can flip the face mask inside out and tug on each corner of the fabric to make sure that you've got it all out. To make the pleats, I just made 3 folds, all of them facing downwards, and ironed and pinned it in place. You want to make sure when you're ironing your fabric, you're very careful not to leave it on the elastic for too long because that fabric is more likely to melt. Once you're done making your pleats, you're going to sew twice along the outside of the face mask. You want to make sure that when you're sewing along the nose wire that you give a larger seam allowance just so that your needle doesn't actually hit the wire and bend or break. Also, when going over the pleats, my sewing machine had a lot of trouble doing this, so I actually had to hand turn my sewing machine just to make sure I didn't bend or break my needle as well. Once I was done sewing around the face mask twice, I ended with a back stitch just to lock the stitching in place, and my face mask was done. I tried to make this as accessible for everyone. I know that there's a lot of families going through some hard times right now, and I hope that this is something that everyone should be able to do without any added costs or trips to the craft store. Thank you.
Hey Stingy, are you ready to anchor?
No, I need a few more minutes.
Oh, Nice Wonder really got him. Okay, so anyway, thank you Penelope for showing us how to make our masks. So please remember when you go out and you cannot social distance, wear something that covers your face. Speaking of being out, Dr. Boyce was fortunate enough to be out last Friday when they lit up the field. So let's see what that was kind of all about.
The Harlem School District, with support of Harlem Athletics, is joining many schools across the state in lighting up the stadium field in a show of support for the class of 2020. This past Friday, the school lit up the field from 8 o'clock till 8:20, which is 2020 in military time, to show some support, and they had a little bit of extra help from the Harlem Transportation Department with buses arranged in the form of 2020.
Once I got there and I started seeing familiar faces again and started seeing people enjoy each other again like we always did in day-to-day school, it was just awesome because you really don't realize how much those people mean to you until you can't be around them. And even having the buses parked in the 2020 position was just a whole other thoughtful ordeal. You guys didn't have to do that at all, and you still did, which just makes us feel appreciated and feels like people still care. It's just good to see everyone and good to see smiles again, other than my own.
The district will continue to do this every Friday night from now until the end of the school year. We have some special surprises planned, including tonight, May 1st, where we will have another special surprise, but keep in mind you'll know it and when you see it and you'll know it when you hear it, but please remember that everyone is safe and there's nothing to be afraid of. We'll see you this Friday night at Light Up the Field, and please remember, whenever you're anywhere in public, especially on school grounds, practice social distancing, stay safely apart from each other, but still enjoy the atmosphere.
Adam, where's the ice packs?
Oh boy. Might just be me this week. Anyway, Friday night looked awesome, so hopefully seniors were able to kind of go out and everyone else was able to go out and kind of see that. Mr. Yarbrough also has some information for us, so let's see what he has to say.
Hello everyone. I hope that you and your families are safe and healthy, and this message gets to you in a good place. Just checking in real quick with everyone, seeing how you're doing now that we have sent out information on grading and senior activities, and just wanted to make sure that everybody is good and have all the information they need in order to make the last 3 weeks of school beneficial and supportive to you all. When in regards to grades and how that's working, please don't hesitate to contact your teacher or contact an administrator if you have any questions remaining on how things are working, the process, how you're going to be graded, and all of those things. We're ready to answer any and all questions in those regards. And then also to our seniors, we had sent out some information yesterday on just different activities that we're planning in the month of May. Those activities, or us sending that out, was only meant to be like a placeholder where you could know what we're thinking, discuss it with your families, and have an opportunity to put it on your calendars. I've received some just different emails and questions in regards to how to buy tickets for prom and things of that nature. Keep sending them our way and in my way, and be happy to answer all those questions from prom, ticket sales, to yearbooks, and things of that nature. Definitely want to make sure that you get all of the information that you need. Seniors, that you're celebrated, you've earned it, and that we do something to honor you despite these difficult times. And please keep looking, at HNN, keep looking at the Harlem website, for just updates and things like that, and specifically, for information in regards to, how those activities for seniors are going to look and will happen. So again, please, whether it's grading, whether it's the senior activities, please continue to send those questions our way so that we can answer them for you, so that you are supported as we move into the final weeks of school. I know it's been a difficult time, for many, and this definitely is not how we wanted, 2020, the year 2020, to be, and the end of our school year, to happen. But at the same time, though, and I truly mean this, we're all in this together. We're all in this to support each other with whatever we need, and we'll continue to work at it. I apologize for how the information went out yesterday, and how confusing that was to our seniors. But I mean this when I say all of us here at Harlem High School, from staff, to just everyone, really appreciate all of our seniors, and want to make sure that we honor you in a respectful way. So please show up this Friday, if you can, to our stadium, lights being on from 8 to 8:20, and then we'll continue that process into the end of the school year. So once again, this is Mr. Yarbrough checking in with everyone, wishing you a good day, and continue to be safe. Take care. Bye.
Well, it looks like it might just be me for the rest of the show. So thank you, Mr. Yarbrough, for the update. We really appreciate kind of staying informed. We also want to stay informed on our teachers to see what they're up to. So this week's episode, The Day in the Life of a Teacher, is Mrs. Carilla.
kids. I know you saw Staney doing a couple of wrestling moves with his hat on backwards. Don't be fooled. He doesn't have a clue. But here we go. You know, if you want to do some bicep curls, you know, you can play around with just one at a time, but that's kind of a waste of time when we have to spend all this time working with you guys on our computers, helping you learn. We just do them both at once, cut our time in half.
Busy sewing my 67th mask.
Just making some jewelry here, kind of something fun to do. In fact, if my cameraman would show, this is all the jewelry that I've created for a show that got canceled, so that doesn't really make sense anymore.
Just cleaning up some of the stuff for the veterans float for the Memorial Day parade that probably won't go on this year.
Now, if you're gonna do some lunges or squats, you don't freaking just do it without anything. You get the stuff up on your back, and then you're gonna do a real lunge, keeping your correct posture, using your legs, your heels to get yourself up and going. That, my friends, is how we do a workout at home.
Thanks, Krilla. I might have to start using weights in my workout. That's the show this week. Like us on Facebook, tweet us on YouTube, and share it on tweet. Thank you. See you next week. Gun, son of a gun, son of a gun, son of a gun. Gun, son of a gun, son of a gun, son of a gun.
Now do it. Okay, try it again. Stangy, what I tell you, bro, when you hear those horns, you're finished.